Hello beautiful people. I promised you a garden tour. So I'm gonna start here with the first part, the community garden. Now this tour is pretty big. So it's gonna happen within maybe a few hours, a few days. So you might see me with different clothes on. No worries. It's all gonna be within 2-3 days. It's just that I have a lot going on. I don't have time to do everything, but I will start right away. Not make you waste your time. So I'm here at the community garden. We have a lot of people growing stuff in boxes, which is pretty cool. You know, we have some elderly people that can't really bend over to harvest crops from the soil. So that's my aisle right here. Luckily, I have another one back there. I will show you in a minute. We start off here. I have some onions and weeds, but it's been raining nonstop for a week, and then I arrived here and it was full of weeds. So I started removing a little bit, as you can see. It's a big mess. I have some carrots somewhere in there. You don't see it much, but I want to take my time to remove the weeds here because I know the carrots are somewhere in there. As you can see, I have some growing. And then I have some either zucchinis or squash. I think they're squash. There might be the butternut squash. I have some lamb squatter. If anyone's hungry, those are free. And then I have some turnips, rutabaga. Turnips or rutabaga. Tiny Tim tomatoes. I have regular tomato plants here. Those are Roma tomatoes. As you can see, they're very healthy, doing well. Here I have some beans and weeds. Again, it's full of weeds. There's not much I can do. Here I have, these I think are zucchinis, and some more here. I'm gonna have to remove the weeds, don't worry. That's why I'm here this morning. So more zucchini squash here, because you know I love them. I think I have cucumbers somewhere. Might be what I have growing here. Not sure what I have here. I actually don't think I have anything growing here. Or maybe carrots? Looks like a carrot right there. Maybe I have some carrots in there. I see a few leaves here and there popping up. I have some pepper plants. Then again, here as well, I have to remove the weeds. Red onions right here. Not as bad here. Lamb quarters is pretty easy to remove. You just grab it and it comes off with the roots. Here I have some peas growing in the weeds. But some of them are doing pretty good. And of course, I couldn't do it without finishing with the zucchini at the end here. Behind me right there, it's not mine. They left some space to grow corn because obviously they need to be grown together. So we have some different people growing corn here. But as you can see, it's full of weeds. So I'm not the only one struggling with weeds. Back there, this is something new from last fall. They planted a bunch of fruit trees. So we have honeyberries, raspberries, blueberries. We have some apple trees, pear trees. And this is recognized in the province as an official heritage garden or something along those lines. I'm not sure exactly the term they're using. Here's my second part of an aisle that I have. Let me show you. So I started off with peas here as well. I have a few ones in there. And then I have some more beans. I'm gonna have to remove the weeds here as well. I need to bring a cage. These tomatoes will rot if they touch the ground, and they're touching the ground. I have some more peppers. I don't remember what I have growing, but these are growing. Might be lettuce. Could be lettuce or something along those lines. As you can see, it's multicolor. I think it's lettuce. It looks like red leaves lettuce. I have some beets here. They're just starting now. More beans, more beans, more beans, more beans. Yeah, I like beans. Brussels sprouts. These are doing great. These are either cauliflower or cabbage, so they're cabbage. I have them marked here. I have cucumbers. These are the cauliflowers. These are cayenne pepper, long thin cayenne pepper, and I have some Hungarian wax pepper. Those are plants I purchased. Easy to see because my peppers are not that advanced, but it's all good. They're doing great. They're gonna provide me with pepper. This one should be ready by the end of the month. Here, I don't know what I have. It might be radishes. Whatever it is, it's not growing too fast, but it's okay. I mean, I have some more lettuce here. This is easy to see. So I have some green and red lettuce, but it's not growing too well. And my aisle stops here. So this is 165 feet long. So I have 165 feet there. And I'm guessing I have about 130 feet from there to here. This is my girlfriend's cousin aisle. So that's the small school where my kids go. And this whole place here is a community garden. That's huge. And they want to expand in the future. They can take everything here, but I mean, it's a lot of work. People doing it are volunteers. And you see the fruit trees back there. And if I turn around, we have those boxes. A lot of people are growing some amazing stuff. Beans. I see some cucumbers, onions, tomatoes. In there, we have a code. We can go in there. There's a tiller, there's a wheelbarrow. We have some compost for free back there. Everything here is free. The only thing they ask us to do is sell a few tickets. I think we have like 10 tickets to sell. I was able to sell them at work. No big deal. $5 each. You get a chance to win over $500 worth of groceries, which is not much with today's inflation. But anyway, it's still better to have it than not. All right, let's go to the next place. All right, part 2 of my garden tour. So I have a little bit of Sarah's garden where I planted some stuff, and I will show you. I have my barn there. I have about 22 meat chickens left and 8 turkeys. They were just too small and we didn't have time to do them all. So we figured we'll do half of mine, half of my friends. That's what we did yesterday. And then we'll do the other half in 2-3 weeks, depending on our schedule. Well, let me show you the garden here. So the garden is still pretty big, although it does get wet, but it didn't stop most of the stuff from growing. Look at this. This is Sarah's pumpkin patch, and he has a few corn. Hopefully the pumpkins won't take over the corn, although it seems like it's already happening here. There you go. But what I have is all this aisle until the wood stick back there, all this one, and from the stick you see there, all this here is mine. So let's try not to get wet, because like I said, it rained a lot last night and it is wet. So I have some onions growing there. I have a few spaghetti squash plants that popped out, but there's still a lot of these are golden rods. They are growing all over the place here. Even if we remove the weeds, we remove them, we till, they still keep coming back. I have some peas. The peas are doing great. The peas are not a problem here. There might not be any there, so I'll put some wood chips just around where I had some plants growing. Here I planted some sort of cucamelons, but obviously nothing at all is growing. So either the seeds were not good or the soil was not good for those mouse melon, cucamelon. It's very wet. I have some squash right there. Those are doing great. a few beans here. They're also doing great. So starting here, this here is not mine. Not here. It's someone else's. As you can see, I kept some packages there. On the sides here, nothing's been popping up, but I have some zucchinis growing, and I think I have some cucumbers here somewhere. It might be back there that just didn't grow, or it could be what I have there. I'll see when I get there. But here I have some zucchinis. I have some more zucchinis here, but they're not growing right there. I have some kohlrabi. They didn't do anything. They didn't pop up. Might be just the soil, or it might even be, I don't know. At least I have some beans. I think they're beans. It should be beans. Although I don't remember planting beans here. It could be, well, it's not kohlrabi. It has to be beans. Third aisle there. Let's see what I have. I have some more beans. Those could be, yeah, I had a lot of beans, leftovers, seeds. So these are some type of squash right there. And this is beans. Now I have some tomatoes, marigold there as well, just to try to remove some of the pests. We have a lot of bugs here. Barbecue rosemary, I have the one plant. I want sales to try it. This is one of the best rosemary kind I've ever seen in a stew. That's amazing. I wish you could smell it. Let's see the sticker. Like I said, tomatoes, they don't seem to be doing too well. They're just not growing, so I don't know. Nothing. Well, I have a few plants there. Those could be squash. It's hard to say on a package, but it's wet. But the peas, those two aisles there are full of peas, and as you can see, they're growing everywhere. So I'm gonna have peas at least, hopefully. They're doing great here. But Selge has a lot of stuff in there. He has, one of his friends has beans. They have onions, beets, zucchini, squash, cucumbers, beans is up there as well. And right back there, there's a lot of golden rods, but there's a lot of raspberries, wild raspberries, and fireweeds. And there's a lot of things you can do with fireweeds. He has a patch there. That's probably cucumbers. He loves the cucumbers. Either that or some type of squash. It's beautiful, in my opinion. He has some carrots growing back there somewhere. There's a few wild hazelnuts there, and there's an orchard, apple orchard behind those spruces, but that's not mine, although I'm allowed to come and harvest a few ones. He can't keep up with all of them, so. Those grow wild all over the place here. If I remember correctly, they are dewberries, and they are delicious. In New Brunswick, at least, anything that looks like a raspberry is in the same family, and it's actually edible. And there's a lot growing here. It's full of them. All right, let's go to part 3. Part 3, the food forest. Look at my gooseberries. They are huge, and they're almost, well, they should be changing color soon. I'm guessing in about 2 weeks I should have some gooseberries. The apple tree right there is not producing, but those 2 cherries are starting to have ripe cherries. I have a tiny one there, seem to have died, but there's a new growth coming from the stem, so I will leave it there. This there is a mountain ash. I'm just leaving it there to see what happens with it, but I'm gonna have to cut it down eventually because of the electric line. I have a gooseberry down there somewhere. I'm gonna have to remove the weeds, give it some nice nutrients, probably rabbit manure or something. I have another, this is a golden delicious or golden Jonathan apple or something like that. I have 2 plum trees here. They're not producing yet. It seemed to have the black knot fungus, but it seemed to be gaining strength in life. And so there's this one, same thing. I have some lilacs there. I don't remember the name of this tree, but in the spring it comes out with beautiful white flowers. That's just a beautiful tree. Good for pollinators and other type of lilacs here. I have an apple tree there, not producing any apple this year. There were just a few flowers. It could be like 1 or 2 apples up there somewhere that I just can't see, but I didn't see anything so far. I have this tiny apple tree here producing red delicious apples. So I'm gonna have maybe half a dozen. I see 3 there, 3 there. So yeah, precisely 6. A bunch of raspberries, although I don't see any fruits forming just now. Well, I see some back there. There's a few old ones from last year, but I need to take control of that back. I'm just afraid to go now because of all the bees. I don't want to step in a bee nest. I often see nests in raspberry patches like this. The rhubarb, look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous rhubarb. I should be able to harvest seeds pretty soon, I guess, if not now. Those are pretty much almost ready to go. But I will continue with the food forest. I have some asparagus, more asparagus. I have to cut the lawn around it. Mullein, it's about to go in flower, and I have a daylily back there and some more asparagus down there. The greenhouse back there has nothing interesting. It's just full of weeds. I have to clean it up and take good care of it. I have one grapevine there. I actually brought something back from Search Property to try to do something there. We'll see what I can do. I'm probably gonna need a T-post, and I'm gonna need to use one of those cedars there as a post. I have another grapevine there. There's not a huge trellis, but then again, it's not growing too fast. My arch here, I have some kiwis back there. They're still growing, and some grapes there as well that are doing great. I need to use the trellis that you see there. I need to put it there. Strawberry patch, full of weeds, like I keep saying. There's a few strawberries here and there. I see one there, and there's another one there. They're not big, and it's overgrown by weeds. I should probably just remove everything and start over, but I don't like starting over. It's too much work. So I'm going back of the property. This is where the food forest starts to get interesting. I have a hop plant there, finally starting to climb on the trellis, although it's a very young one. I'm not sure if it will do anything. I have a red currant there growing from cutting from last year that I just ended up planting there just because. Another grapevine there. I'm glad that that one is finally growing. So I have mullein growing there. That's pretty cool. And it's about to flower as well. This is an American hazelnut. I had 2, but the other one died. I'm gonna have to buy another one at some point. Sea buckthorn shrubs. Female, female, female. The one back there is a male. I have some ostrich fern fiddleheads. I have some blueberries there along the line because of the spruces. I'm guessing it's a little bit more acidic, and they tend to grow a little bit better. So I'm probably gonna have a lot of blueberries, especially this one there. It looks to be full. So here I have chicory, strawberries, echinacea, more strawberries. This one is full of all kind of stuff, but there is some chamomile in there. This here is just weeds. My comfrey plant is doing amazing. I have some daylilies, some more echinacea. I know I planted some sage somewhere in here, and I don't think this is it. It looks to be just the same kind of weed as what I have there. But lovage, chives, lavender, I have a strawberry patch there and one of the grapevine there somewhere that I need to get to before it dies off. Those grapevines here are doing great. This one here is growing very, very fast, although I don't see any fruits on it this year, which is okay. It's just going to give it, well, actually a little bit there, just going to give it more time to grow. That's an old apple tree that died, but according to Jack, from the shoots there, I should cut this and these ones, just leave this, and this should grow into an apple tree. So then I can either graft on it or just let it go and see what happens. I mean, I have no idea what kind of apple is going to be from there. It was from a wild apple tree, so it could be crab apples or any other kind of apple, which I don't mind having. And I have another grapevine back there. I didn't see it. So I have rhubarb, more grapes there around that thing somewhere in the grass. But these are my honeyberries right here. I need to cut them too, but as you can see, they produced a little bit. Don't know if you can even see. There's a few fruits down there. This here as well. This, and I have two more there. This is a high bush cranberry right there. Seem to have died off, but as you can see, there's still some growth. It's coming from down there though, but it doesn't seem like it was grafted, so it could be all right. Was zone 3, large cluster of white flower, red fruit in fall. So let's hope it takes off and starts growing again. Another tiny gooseberry shrub here. Might have like just a couple of berries on it. And this is here, this here is something new that I built. I took the og panel. I have, look at those grapes. It's going to be charred already the first year, and this is the type of grapes I have. But I plan on getting this one to grow on one side and the other one to grow on the other side, and then I'll be able to come underneath and harvest the grapes from here. This one here is doing great also. Look at all the grapes on it. And this is well, some sort of a green white grape. Apparently they're very delicious. They're all zone 3, so they should be fine here. So this is an aisle of black currant, red currant, white currant, black elderberries, black elderberries, black elderberries. Same here, rhubarb. That's an apple tree. I don't remember what kind. I have some lemon balm around it. I still have some chives to plant, as you can see. Kind of forgot about them. I'm gonna plant them around one of those trees. This here, I think, is a plum tree. And this and this are service berries or Saskatoon berries. Plum tree. I think these here are either black raspberries or yellow raspberries. This, I thought it was a pear tree. Now I'm not so sure. Could be an apple tree. I don't know. If any one of you know, look at, could be like a specific type of apple tree. I don't remember what I planted there, but I know it's a fruit tree of some sort. I have some mint down there in that grass. I have a few rhubarb in there, raspberries, yellow raspberries down there somewhere. These are chums, an hybrid of cherries and plums right there and there. They're not producing this year. Hopefully they take off and start growing. That's a pear tree. That was a pear tree, but as you can see, looks like it was grafted here. And I have some shoots coming up from over the grafted part, so I will hopefully be able to save that tree. There's not much life left in it. I have some loganberries. They're zone 5. I am in zone 4. They're still surviving. I'm guessing they will never produce fruits, but it is what it is. This was an hybrid that I purchased at, well, my brother purchased it at Superstore. It has like cherry grafted with pears and plums, I think. But as you can see, it's pretty much dead. I started planting a bunch of perennials around my fruit trees all over the place. I'm gonna have some white currants very soon. This one here was new. It's not gonna produce this year, but I'm just happy that it's alive. This one here is almost ready. I have some red currants right here. I have one actually that I almost ready. I will leave it a little bit longer. I have some here as well, but as you can see, that one here doesn't look too good. There's still life because obviously there are some fruits, but I will let that one go to the birds. Hopefully the birds enjoy it. One of the first apple tree I hair grafted, it was a tiny bit of roots, and I'm just hoping that, you know, it survives. I might have to bring a post just to help it grow straight. Lovage, I have some either lemon balm, lovage, or chives around my fruit trees. As you can see right there next to the dead tree, I have some chives there as well. And if I keep coming down here, this is a quince, the tree I've been talking about on my live stream, and I'm just making sure this here stays clear. Give it some compost. This one here is a mulberry. It seemed to be doing great. Actually, it's still small, but... And this is where I put my blackberry patch. As you can see, they're all starting to fade. Now, I don't know if they're gonna make it or not. I don't know if I should cut them a little bit. Some of them I know are probably not gonna make it because they were just like stem. There were no roots at all. Feels like something came and stepped on them, or the wind. This one still has a little bit of life, but if all of this can grow into blackberries, I'll be happy. This one also has a little bit of life. Those are some that I planted last year, so I have 4 already growing, so eventually they should take off and start producing. That was my food forest, and I have this there, temple shelter, that I need to brace and hopefully turn it into a greenhouse. It will be far from the house, but if I can fill all of this with tomatoes and peppers and leave the one back there for something else, then I can start growing some regular stuff in the other one there and, you know, have some more food. All right, are you still here? Are you still watching? Are you ready for part 4? Well, here's my mess of a garden back home. So I have strawberries in the first aisle here. Some of them are pretty much ready to come harvest. For the first time in my life, I actually have a trellis for my cucumbers, and my cucumbers are looking great. Look at that. Some of them did not grow, but it's okay. With the ones I have, that should be fine. There's just a tiny little one there. Doesn't do much, but even there, might need some water, I don't know. But it wasn't like that yesterday. There's a few plants that are doing awesome. This is a zucchini or squash. It looks like a zucchini. I planted a few ones here and there, as you can see. I have another one here, and there's another one there. Hopefully they take off. Third row, I have some zucchinis there, and those are, until there might be cucumbers right there. Those are zucchinis, and from here I have a few beans, and they're starting to do pretty well. Let me get closer. Beans are starting to look awesome. At least I'll have a few plants, and I have a few zucchinis growing in the middle there as well. I should just come and give them compost. I have some lettuce and weeds, obviously. I have some radishes. I've been harvesting radishes for the past 2 weeks now. Some of them are actually getting big. But these ones, I mean, it's basically only the plants that are growing. I have some beets here in that mess too. Artichoke, if that's the term in English. Those are purple potatoes that Angie gave me. I have some more potatoes there. And there I have corn. It's not growing for some reason, I don't know. I have another zucchini plant there. Just came out of nowhere. And corn. Now here, I don't think I have anything, or maybe I just put some peas there because I had nothing, because I can see one pea plant growing there. Some more potatoes and some peas. Now the peas are finally starting to grow, but that stuff is all over the place, and I mean it, all over the place. They're growing like crazy. I have my owl that worked a little bit for a little while, and peas going up to the end. I have basil, and somewhere underneath I have cherry tomatoes, and obviously some more weeds. I don't get it, like how lamb's quarter, I guess you can dehydrate them and eat them, they're pretty good, but I have so many that I don't know what to do. But oh, the smell of basil. Look at all the beautiful basil. That's a beautiful plant. Here I planted summer savory. It didn't grow, it was full of weeds. Here I don't remember what I planted. Maybe this was summer savory and this was something else, which I don't remember, but because this looks like something is finally popping out. These are just buckets empty to keep the weight there. Some spinach here, and I have some more basil. I love the smell of basil. If I keep going on my pallets, Swiss chard, one pepper plant, one cherry tomato, Swiss chard, and some more lettuce. And I'm keeping the best for last. Let's go in my greenhouse. It's not that great. I still need to fix the support. Look at that. But I'm just so busy that I don't have time. But let's take a look. Look at my celery. And look at lamb's quarter. I have some peppers there, but look at all the lamb quarter. Like, I'm gonna have to remove it. I even have some mushrooms growing. Not sure what kind they are, but they're going out. But the celery, look at that. Look at the beautiful stem. It is getting very, very big. That's the Pascal celery. It has a special meaning, but look at this. It's getting big. And look at my tomato mess. Tomatoes, look at that. It's full of flowers, full of tomatoes. Back there somewhere I have some cucumber plants. I'm gonna come in here at some point and have some cucumbers, lamb quarters. Look, I'm gonna have to remove that. Look at all the big plants. So yeah, look at the big mess. I have, well, I'm supposed to have, that's cantaloupe. It's probably not going to grow too well because of all the other plants around it. But look at the tomatoes. It smells like tomatoes. Look at this. Look at the huge mess. Like I said, I have cucumber plants back there. I planted some cucamelons, but obviously they're not growing. I have another cantaloupe here. Muskmelon. I want to let it, oh, it has flowers. I want to let it grow like outside the bed to give it a chance. Look at the tomato plants. It's a jungle in here. In lamb quarter, I'm gonna have to come and harvest some because there's too much. But I need to brace it there. I need to brace it like this, and I need to brace it here because this is not enough. the snow is gonna make this fall very, very, very humid and warm in there. Even if I open the door, it's probably around 40 degrees Celsius, over 100 Fahrenheit. But hey, it's my little paradise. At least I get to grow tons of food. Not gonna say anything more. I think you've seen enough. There's a couple of wild apple trees also around that I can go harvest some apples. So even if my apple trees are not producing, I know I have another place to go. And I have a lot of work to do today. I gotta fix this this trellis. But in the meantime, I'm gonna relax, take a little bit of sun, and enjoy the beautiful view in my garden. All right, thanks for watching. Don't hesitate to share, like, subscribe if it's not already done. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.